Okay, traders, we got another grinding up day. Almost like yesterday, actually. It's pretty funny. It's a bit of a pullback more than yesterday, but uh, I was not at my screen when all that was happening. I was working on my main project, so I just had to rely on you, George. How'd it go?
Yeah, I actually like today. Today was a pretty good day, in fact, because it did give some pullbacks, and this is just something that we teach in the room to like the way that we like to see the market. Obviously, it will do what it wants, but I am often looking for the best price that I can get, whether I'm trying to go long or short. So yeah, today was actually pretty good. We'll start here on the ES, just so you guys can see how we mapped it out and what we accomplished. So didn't do any pre-market charting. So we really just started just slightly before. I guess I did some pre-market. Right around 8:30. We had a decision point right here around 7,010 that the market would need to overcome in order to get to the next series of targets. So let's find our 920. So here's our 920 open, little doji candle. So this was where we started the day off with. We were basically sitting right on top of the decision point. So when this happens, you just have to make the choice to commit and go for it, or you're just possibly going to watch it. And that's really what happened. So 9:30 kicked off. It couple candles blew right through the hurdle, right to all three targets. So what? And I was not Johnny on the spot myself, and I actually ended up taking the counter trend off of the rubber band. So my first ES trade was absolutely phenomenal. It went within moments, as you can see. This candle was just fantastic. So it just ripped straight down. I was completely cleared of all my profits right back to the decision point, because we know that the market now has to commit fully back below the decision point in order to end that cycle. And since you don't know that that's going to happen or not, I always try to target getting out right about there and then let the market tell me, more later. As we can see, quick dip and quick spike back up above the decision points. So now for me on the ES, I'm kind of sitting on my hands thinking, well, that was really fast. And then they had another decision point they needed to overcome right here at 7,014 quarter, I believe was the actual number. And this was my next ES trade. It proved itself out above it, got us into this big giant blue box that I like to draw for folks. Let them know like this is the whole of the scenario that we're up against. And so if we get through the decision point, we're looking for the retest. So I took the retest, and then I was completely out by first target, and I didn't trade any more of the ES. So obviously, I left an absolute ton on the table, but you know that's okay. Then there's really not much else to say except for when I was leaving. I did leave about 11:30, 11:35 today, and the discussion was really we're looking for a better price. Always, always, always. And this is what I was saying, Bob, is that at least this one behaved. We had mentioned that if they wanted to, they could take a nominal entry right around 21, which, as we can see, was pretty perfect, or take the more conservative, which would have been back at the decision point itself. So that's just how we lay it out so people can understand it. They can gauge their own risk reward accordingly. And even though I wasn't here, the market doesn't need me here to actually do what it's supposed to do. So that was absolutely perfect for anybody who still was in the room and took the nominal entry. And they still would have only been targeting what was in front of us. Everything that's happened thereafter, so everything above 53 half, I mean, we got nothing for this. So still, I got the bulk of it. That's okay. NQ, 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 NQ. I did not get any shorts on the NQ, so this one was a little set up a little differently from the ES. Let's talk about this. So started pre-market chart casting around looks like about 9:10 in the morning, and we were just identifying the major zones that are going to come in play. And we had this really big, so I drew a box this way. I want people to know that like this is not a great setup just because it's such a wide span, but it is what it is, and it's kind of a has to hold zone everywhere between 94 and 74 to the downside. So this was what I'm just going to squeeze this in a little bit for you so I can see my candles. So the NQ at the start of the morning didn't get up high enough for me to take advantage of trying to short our has to hold zone. So I was looking for a short. I had a contract sitting in here, but nothing got picked up. And then after that same deal, right around 10 o'clock, it gave us this decision point. And looking at that, I realized that, well, I'm probably not going to take any shorts on the NQ because the ES is already kind of going and it's also above a decision point. So I missed pretty much this whole morning, except finally, right about 10:20, I had mentioned to the group that kind of the same deal. Like you can take the 74 that we overcame here and still continue in the buy direction, or take the more conservative and hit it if it brings itself back down to the decision point. So in both cases, as you can see, if you put both charts side by side or just remember them, in both cases, the conservative would have been great, but the market only gave us it's not really aggressive. It was just more of a nominal entry, but that's all it gave us. And so same deal here on the NQ. I was completely out of contracts, actually just short of the rubber band. I didn't make it all the way there because I do like a pairing out method. I try to take off a number of contracts at each key level. So I was completely out by then, never saw that. And I told the group that, hey, look, if we push past the rubber band, then I got nothing. There's nothing to chart for everybody. And look at that. Unbelievable. Another 200. Yeah, another 200 points up. Market just kept on climbing. So it'll be interesting for tomorrow. We'll see what they give us tomorrow.
I was looking at the daily ES, and I think it's up like 11 out of 13 days, or 10 out of 11, or 10 out of... It's an insane... It's an insane bounce.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but like, and folks listening, pull up a weekly chart. These candles on this weekly, this is absolutely unprecedented. And we're midway through week 3 of just massive amounts of up and like just no pullbacks whatsoever. So little bizarre.
Yep. Bizarre. Well, I don't see any red folder news for tomorrow. So that's good. But like we said yesterday, keep on your toes because, this Iran thing's still happening. So keep the stops on the chart. I know a couple guys that they don't really use stops. Their stop is that their PA account is blown. I'm like, okay, well, that's one way to do it.
That's a method. Yeah.
The funny thing is, one of the guys I know that does that gets a lot of payouts. So I really can't argue with his approach. It's not my style, but
it must be a non-Apex account because they changed the rules. You have to have block orders in, otherwise they prevent you from trading them.
No, actually you don't, because when you trade with a copy trader, there's no stops and targets in your actual Apex account. It's all market orders.
Oh,
yeah. Well, there was a time where they tried to do that, and the community was like, what the hell? Because they actually, they distribute a copy trader. They're like, you have your own copy trader. How could you tell us that we have to have stops and targets with the trader? So.
Oh, interesting. Well, because it's actually on their homepage.
Yeah, they actually just put out like Apex version 3.0 recently, if nobody's seen that, and they've eliminated almost all of their rules. And they have an option now if you want to have end of day drawdown instead of the one that trails you up during the middle of the day. They have that option as well. It's a little more expensive for the account, like $15 for a 50K. But they got rid of the intra-trade rule where you can't lose more than 30% of your drawdown. They got rid of all that. So the only thing that is not favoring the trader is in a 50K account, you used to be able to lose 2,500 was the total drawdown before you'd blow it. Now it's only 2,000, so they've tightened it up a little bit. And the target stayed the same, so you still have to make 3,000, and you only get 2,000 worth of room. So all the influencers are all excited about these new changes, and I don't quite understand it, except they make a lot of money by promoting it. So me personally, It looks like it's a little less advantageous to the trader, but I still have.
Well, there's that, and there's that, and then there's also like you have to now pass it within 30 days of the eval.
Which is
So
you can't really.
I mean, well, think about that logically for a second. Like, if you were to make, let's say you gave your money to somebody and they made you a 10% return on your money, right, for the year, for the whole year, you're pretty happy about that.
Absolutely.
And they basically want you to accomplish 6% in 30 days.
Right.
So, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of encourages a little bit of cowboy trading. And
gambling.
It's going to be nearly impossible to do it responsibly with micros. So you almost have to trade with one or two minis to actually pass it in 30 days. Because, you could be doing fine in micros and building your way up, being responsible, and then all of a sudden you got 3 days left. And then, it's just going to encourage people to, like you said, kind of gamble. So, unfortunately.
Well, not to toot my own horn too much, but I took one of their accounts today, and just using micros, I did $1,400 today.
Nice.
With, five micros.
Nice.
So,
yeah, I have a buddy.
It's doable, but this is an unprecedented moving kind of day. So that's going to be hard to repeat.
Yeah, I have a buddy that is kind of new to trading, and he was passing with the minis, and then he was trading the minis in his actual PA, and of course he was blowing them left and right. And I said, try micros, and he's like, okay, I'll do 5 micros. I'm like, okay, well that's at least half the risk. So, and he was able to get a payout actually within 3 months of being an Apex user. So that was statistically pretty dang good. So, okay, well we've rambled way past our 10-minute limit. We're at about 12, so we apologize for that. But we hope y'all are enjoying the commentary.
The George and Bob hour.
I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
Oh, I just said thanks for joining the George and Bob hour.
Oh yeah. Okay, well we'll see everybody tomorrow. It's been a fun week to be in the room. So if you're not in there yet, click that link down below and come join us for 7 days. And if you get to the end of 7 days and you're like, still not sure, we'll give you a couple extra days. We're not sticklers like that. We want you to, to see the value in what we do and how George teaches everything. So come on and join us, and would love to see you there.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, George. Have a good night.